Make no mistake about it. Here at the Hunt Fish Shoot channel, we are huge fans of the Shadow Systems pistols out there on the market today. There's tons of great offerings. Generally speaking, if Shadow Systems has a new pistol coming out, we're coming at you with a brand new video. And today is no exception to that. This is going to be the all-new Shadow Systems CR920X. Not a whole lot to it. This is merely the competitor to the Glock 43X. It's a 15 round capacity CR920. Now there's some differences to the all new CR920X, which we'll cover all of that stuff. We'll give you shooting impressions, we'll touch how the trigger performs, and we'll cover some things as to why this thing may fit in, and for me personally, why it could be my new carry gun versus my beloved MR920 that I carry all the time, whether it's IWB in my QVO tactical holster or this cheap outside the waistband Bravo concealment. But if you guys are new here, what I need you to do to help out the channel, go down there, like the video, share this video. It helps push the algorithms, and more importantly, it's going to help actually push this video in the 2A community. It helps us grow the channel and provide more to you guys, the viewers here on our channel. The Shadow Systems 920X. A lot of folks asked for this pistol. This is probably one of the most requested pistols Shadow Systems had, and especially according to them. Again, no mistake about it. We work closely with them. We talk to them. We are here to bring you their pistols. We're going to provide you guys a review and an overview of this pistol and how it performs. But this CR920X, like I mentioned before, is a 15 round capacity gun. If you're unfamiliar with the 43X, it has 10 round capacity, and if you want 15 rounds, you got to go aftermarket, get Shield Arms mags, and put in a different magazine release. Now, the 15 round mags from Shadow Systems are designed by them, built by them, and made in Texas like their pistols. Now, the magazines themselves actually have a, let's say like a texture or a groove around the bottom. So like, let's say that your magazine is stuck in the gun, because if you shoot a pistol enough, it gets dirty, rounds, if you're just, having malfunctions, whatever it might be, and you need to strip that magazine, there's nice grooves in the bottom, so if you need to strip the mag out, you can do that. Now, what's different, what I'll say with the 920X versus the regular CR920 is it's not just a standard, let's make the grip a little bit longer. The bottom of the grip itself is actually more flared on the bottom there for your mag well. And I would say if you were to setting the two of these side by side, there is a very noticeable difference how flared this is. And I would actually also tell you that the flaring job on the bottom of the mag well itself for the CR920X is also more like what you might get from an aftermarket mag well to put on your 43X or some of your aftermarket 43 lowers. Now, with all of that being said, you see I have large hands here, so like when I'm holding my MR920, I get a full grip, my finger starts to kind of get crunched by that mag well. On this pistol, no exception to that. So like even if I'm making reloads with this, I'm not going to come up here and slam the magazine in and smash my fingers or anything like that. It's very easy to do reloads, and in fact I barely have to break my grip in order to actually push that magazine release button and release the magazine. What that allows me to do is it allows me to get 15 rounds of capacity and a compact size carry gun that's considerably smaller than a 15 round Glock 19 size pistol. You'll see that it's a lot slimmer. It's obviously shorter on the barrel, but then the overall grip length is about the same. So it allows you to have more control over that pistol versus like the CR920, which, these micro compacts like this are snappy. This thing, I haven't shot it yet, but I did shoot a 48 a lot, and that pistol was not nearly as snappy as these would be. Now, I also have found that the Shadow Systems pistols, due to the grip design and that beaver tail that they put on there, is easier to control under fast shooting or fast follow-up shots, whatever it might be, and ultimately shooting in a style where you would need to shoot in a self-defense situation. Now, remember, self-defense wise, you're not getting out there and pop, pop, pop. You're ultimately pulling that trigger as fast as you can to empty rounds into a threat and stop that threat as fast as possible. So control wise, I think that this CR920X is going to be far more controllable than the regular CR920. Now, obviously we shot that CR920P, great shooting pistol. If you're going to get a micro compact, that's probably what I recommend. In fact, I started out carrying the CR920 and stopped because I felt less capable carrying that pistol, and then I just went to straight carrying the MR920 all the time, 365 days out of the year. This pistol, I feel like I could do that with it while also remaining a little bit more comfortable in the long run. You know, the standard stuff that you get with your Shadow Systems Elite Series pistols, you get good slide serrations on there, top and on the sides. You're gonna get a green front sight on there that is a tritium night sight, blacked out rear sight, and then you're gonna get that multi-optic footprint. So you can fit all of your 507K footprints, your shield stuff, and a multitude of different red dots. So obviously you see we have the Vortex Defender CCW here on the CR920. You can put that on your CR920X as well, or your Holosun EPS, whatever it might be. Those micro-sized red dots are going to fit on this pistol without the need to go out and buy anything aftermarket. Price-wise, I don't have exact pricing on this. What I'll tell you is I would rationally believe it's probably gonna be around the $700 range, and especially at your street price, I likely would say it's gonna be less than that. So all of that stuff being said, what you're getting on here, good sights if you don't want to run a red dot, good optics cut, good slide serrations, great grip textures here with that sandpaper type stipple job, a mag weld design on there that is, let's say, integrated into the grip itself, is flared, easy to get in there, good magazines, two nice, let's say, buttery slicks, you know, magazines that will slide in and out, your pistol rug and all that stuff at a price point that's comparable to a 43X MOS, if not the same at a street level price. So we've talked about this stuff. Let's get out on the range. We'll see how this CR920X performs and give you guys some thoughts whether this thing is going to be worth your hard-earned dollar. Out on the range now with our CR920X. We're going to start this off with a bill drill from Concealment. Bill drill is 7 yards, 21 feet, 6 rounds. The pistol has been lubed and cleaned to start out. We got a G-code holster. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I'm wearing, check the link in the description. It's gonna take you to our website, which has all kinds of links to everything we're wearing, you know, gear, whatever it might be. It's on there for you. It can save you a few bucks. Some of it's just gonna help you find what you're looking for. Let's get into it here. This is a cold start bill drill. I have not shot today, so this could be rough or it could be fantastic. We're gonna probably hope for it's a little bit in between. So that's 5 shots, because I can't count, and 301 from Concealment. And I've got one that I dropped outside of the preferred area here on a 50% Opata target. Overall though, the pistol, what I noticed is from shooting the regular CR920 to the CR920X is like getting that full grip and coming out with the pistol. I didn't find it nearly as hard because of that full, you know, longer overall length. All right. Yeah, this thing feels really good in the hand, especially compared to that CR920. It almost like it kind of takes that snap out a little bit for you. Let's see where I got an extra mag at here. So really, this thing is shooting well. What I can tell you is this doesn't shoot as soft as my full size or, you know, compact size MR920. Overall though, it feels pretty good. Really does. That's, you know, 30 rounds now, no malfunctions or anything like that, about what we'd expect. For us, we've never really had so much of that break-in thing that people talk about with Shadow Systems. There is a 200 round break-in period for your Shadow Systems pistols. That's not something that we've really ever encountered with any of them, with the exception of maybe the CR920, the original one. But this one here, so far, nothing like that. We'll shoot a bunch more. We'll get past that break-in period and we'll continue to evaluate this thing. It feels good in the hand. That full size feels good. It's snappy. It's a micro compact overall pistol. That's what you can expect. I'd say that it feels a little bit better than a standard 43X though. So let's load this thing up some more. We'll continue to shoot it. So right there, what I actually did was rode my thumb up and bumped that slide stop, slide release, which actually caused the slide to get locked back after that second shot. That's, again, that's from my thumb riding up and doing that. That's a shooter error. Something that I have noticed I do on occasion with some of your micro compact pistols or these smaller ones like this, just because I have larger hands and I get so used to shooting your compact size pistols. So that obviously happened to me a little bit. It's something, you know, they have it fenced in like you would expect or what you would want with these pistols like that, which is good, but it's something like grip wise, shooting a small pistol, you can get that. I've noticed I'm shooting just slightly low left with the pistol. I don't think that's the pistol, I think that's myself, and trying to get used to the trigger. The trigger, we'll talk about that here in a second. I can't sit here and say, you know, it's the greatest micro compact trigger on the market. It's probably a little bit on the heavier side, closer to 5.5 pounds, but you know, it's not bad. It's just I'm gonna have to really work through that and understand this trigger because it is different than what you get on your full-size ones. One of the biggest gripes I've noticed with people in the Shadow Systems pistols for these micro compacts like the CR920 is that they think the triggers suck, and there's a lot of people that are changing them. What I'll tell you is that like any Glock style trigger, the more you shoot it, it's gonna break in and get better. And in fact, my CR920 that had tons of rounds through, a couple thousand at least, that trigger broke in and it got better. At first, I can't sit here and tell you it was great. You know, would I say it's even as good as a $700 pistol should be? No, but they break in and they feel better. And then after a while, they start to really feel like a good performance trigger. So let's shoot this thing some more. Yeah, that thing's feeling good. Really, you know, for me to say that I could switch, you know, right now for my MR920s or carrying this, I can't say that. I got to put a lot more rounds to this. It feels really good in the hand, especially for the overall size and profile of the pistol. It shoots like you would expect. The grip, the beaver tail itself, I'm not getting slide bite like I consistently got with a 43X or my 48 that I carried for a couple years. And I'm not getting that with this pistol, shooting it right out of the box when I'm coming from a full size or compact size gun. This feels good in that overall profile, the grip and all that, it feels good. So let's continue to shoot this thing. Performance-wise and function, it's been 100% reliable with the exception of the one time that I rode that slide stop, slide release. Now we're going to talk about the trigger and how it performs on the gun. We have almost 100 rounds through the pistol now. I can feel the trigger starting to get a little bit more smoother, and it's starting to smooth out that little bit of grittiness that you usually get with new Glock style triggers. So let's pull that thing here. We'll show you here on the range. So you got your take up there, take up, and I'm hitting some resistance there, creep through that. Probably at the edge of that striker, a little bit more, and then it breaks. Reset. So pretty audible reset. And let's see if there's any, if I just like ride that reset, let's see where that wall is. There's some creep right there, and I should be at the edge. Yep. So let's take that full take up again. So full take up with the trigger. So there's your take up, resistance, some creep, and then it's breaking. So take up, resistance, wall. So I found the wall pretty easily. It's not like a hidden wall, and if you really could feel for it, you're fine. You know, shooting the pistol overall though, so I want to show you guys something here too, because a lot of times we get folks when I'm making these videos, they're like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, you don't show your target. So starting out, you'll see that actually most of my shots are kind of hitting a low left. That's not necessarily, that's a bad trigger pull. Maybe it's even, you know, weak support side, whatever it might be. And this is what I just shot right there at the end. And this is you shooting one-handed. So you can see that the groups are actually starting to tighten up and go a little bit more closer to like point of aim, point of impact. And that says I'm starting to learn the trigger on this gun as a whole. Obviously, you know that we shoot a lot of guns, and you know, by all means, if I pick up a different gun that I shoot more than this, it's probably going to be better. But it's important to shoot paper as opposed to the steel we're about to jump into, because it helps you understand what you might be doing wrong. So it's kind of a little training tip for some of you that may wonder why you shoot paper when you're learning to train. I made mention of it in the studio. With this pistol, I've noticed that, like I said, the mag well on it itself is larger than what you get on the regular CR920. So what I have now is 3 rounds loaded up. I'm gonna do a reload, and see how that feels. It's a little tough here because I don't have my pocket clip with me, that Neomag one that sometimes I like to carry, but let's try this thing. Yeah, magwell feels good. Coming up and getting that slide release, being a smaller pistol and coming from a compact, something I got to work into. I haven't shot some of these micros or these smaller ones in a while, but overall the magwell itself, that felt really good. I really like that and how it feels on the pistol. It's definitely a difference. A little shrapnel, that's why you wear glasses, folks. But it's definitely a difference from what you normally see with your CR920 and the Glock 43s. Fort Scott was nice enough to send us out some of their 9mm tumble upon impact ammunition for this CR920X review today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot some of this stuff here. It's very similar to like your FMJ, except this stuff, when it hits flesh or hits, you know, water-based tissue, it's actually going to tumble upon impact. So let's shoot this stuff. And if you guys are interested in this, use the code HFS10 and save a few dollars when you're purchasing your Fort Scott stuff. We have our final 15 rounds loaded up in this pistol. It's gonna be that Fort Scott tumble upon impact. When I say final, it means we're pushing past that 200 round break-in period. We've had no malfunctions except for one time when I held that slide release up. Let's shoot this pistol again. We're gonna start that bill drill at 7 yards like we did before from concealment and see if we have a little bit of improvement too. So I rode the slide stop, bumped the button on the gun myself. So that's obviously shooter error. Again, I felt both of them, felt the slide stop go up, felt the button, that mag popping out. That's something you're gonna see sometimes with smaller pistols. But what I've noticed with this pistol, man. A very, very flat shooting, micro compact-esque frame. The CR920X is probably one of the finest shooting micro compacts or compact size guns. I think this shoots a little nicer than what you're gonna find in your standard Glock 43X or the 48. And that's ultimately what you're looking for. And the target proves it for me. This thing shoots great. And in fact, I have a good feeling that the more I shoot this, once I put a red dot on here, throw a light up here, this is gonna be my new summer carry gun. And if I continue to like it and like how it performs, it may be my everyday carry gun 365 days out of the year. But if you guys disagree with me and you hate what I did here today, let me know down in the comment section.